Welcome back to Let's Play Darkest Dungeon. I'm your host, Timepants, and today we're doing things a little bit different. Specifically, we are doing the hands-free version of a recording. So, I actually had originally intended to just tack this part on at the end of one of my other videos where we're going to do, some actual content, some actual new stuff with the Crimson Court. However, things kind of, developed here, and you'll see what I mean in the later part of the episode, or perhaps you'll just read the title. So, can you see the mistake that I'm making here? Can you just identify the mistake that I'm making? Yeah. So, anyway, I had planned on just tacking this onto the end, since this is a quick boss fight. I think in total it only takes like 3 minutes from when we go in. But this is not very good play I'm about to demonstrate. As a matter of fact, one might say that it's shit, it's complete garbage. And they would be right. Off to a good start here against the horrid Shrieker, but yeah, you'll see that I immediately realized my error. Oh, right, I didn't bring any consumables at all. And the reason that I did this, and I'm blaming somebody who is not me for my error here. The reason that I did this is because somebody made fun of me in the comments section, and of course, being an individual of such fragile ego, obviously this cut me to my core. They said, "Oh, look at me, I'm Timepants, I'm a big, stupid, fat idiot, and I didn't bring, or I brought all these consumables, even though I said I knew what this boss fight was all about the first time that I played, since I did a little bit of research." And that cut me to my core. First off, I work in an office and I sit in a chair for 12 hours a day. It's gonna have negative impact on my weight. First off, I'm very sensitive about that. But secondly, I overcompensated in the other direction, and instead did not bring any consumables at all. And you can see now that this is obviously paying negative dividends here. You'll see here how things break, but yeah, this is not one of my proudest moments. For somebody who honestly over-prepares for nearly every run that he's ever been on, this is not a good look. I mean, fortunately, the critical heal there basically got us out of the woods, but yeah, that's, I'm not proud of that. Not at all. So yeah, as I was saying, I was originally planning on tacking this onto the end of a run through the Crimson Court, but as I basically convinced myself, alright, I'm going to do one more run, and then I'm going to start, then I'm actually going to record. I just need to get some stress off of some people, get some, get some negative quirks treated, and we'll get going and do a recording for the Crimson Court. Sometimes, however, fate conspires against you, and, well...
Madness can take many forms, but none so contemptible as man's belief in a mythology of his own making. A worldview buttressed by dogmatic desperation invariably leads to single-minded fanaticism and a need to do terrible things in the name of righteousness. This man is an animal, rabid, destructive, and incapable of nuanced understanding. He must be put down.
Yeah, yeah,
The Fanatic
one
is
more
on the
run,
prowl.
and
He smells your sickness.
yeah, one more run, and we'll be off to the Crimson Court. Unfortunately, I brought a level 3 Vestal onto this long champion run because the plan was I'm gonna level her up, and we're gonna have, you know, a backup Vestal, you know, coming up while we're getting everybody ready to go for the next Crimson Court run. Yeah, that totally did not happen. So instead, we are basically counting down the seconds here until complete disaster. So my understanding of the Fanatic is basically if you have 2 or more people with the Crimson Curse on a single run, there's a small chance that scales up of the Fanatic showing up. At, you know, 2 people with the curse, it is a slight chance, and at 4, it's inevitable. And once the
As the fiend falls,
once the Fanatic has been assigned to that run, it's just going to be a random encounter somewhere in the dungeon. So, with a linear dungeon layout such as the one that we have, there is a very, very, very reasonable chance that we could run into him just without any real recourse here on our end. With a quest like Explore 90% of Rooms, if he's, you know, halfway down one hallway and there's no detours, it's either fight the Fanatic and win or escape. And since escape is for pussies, of course the only option that we had is to fight our way through. So with that having been said, how many of my characters do you think died in this episode? I want you to pause the video, take a look at what we have here. We have a level 6 Hellion, level 6 Crusader, level 6 Houndmaster, and a level 3 Vestal. And take a moment, pause the video, of course come back to it. This is my livelihood. I really just do the office job as kind of a hobby. My primary source of income is, of course, all the revenue that I get from my YouTube videos. Take a moment and just think to yourself, how many good men and women do you think Timepants threw into the meat grinder in this episode? And when you come back, let's find out how right you were. So, this is very early camping compared to how I do things now. I think lately, since, well, I shouldn't say lately, it's been like this for about a year. Sort of my camping strategy, my camping meta, if I may use the terminology, has been that basically get as far as you possibly can, and then, you know, camp and use that momentum to push your way through the remainder of the dungeon. And that's worked out pretty well. It's, I would say, a far cry better than the old meta, which was basically just camp in the first room and then use your infinite buffs to just destroy the rest of the dungeon. Yeah, it's a big improvement. So here, my thought is we could run into the Fanatic at any time. So we want that to happen when we are at our absolute strongest point. So camp early, camp often, and hopefully we won't have to deal with any of that nastiness. Now, unfortunately, there aren't a lot of actual combat buffs that our party really has among them. You know, don't get me wrong, the Houndmaster's protection from nighttime ambush, the Houndmaster's scouting, amazing, great. fantastic, just the best, really, truly the best camping buffs you can ask for in a normal run. But ladies and gentlemen, this is not a normal run. This is an encounter with a boss that honestly I did not know anything about, other than the fact that he existed, and apparently he has a mechanic that's kind of like the hag. Yeah, that great boss that I have so much history of success with. Now, this is an unfortunate loss of one of our camping buffs. Running into these clowns is, maybe an opportunity for us to kind of fortify ourselves. But yeah, at this point, I'm kind of hoping that we don't have a big mess of encounters for a while. So hopefully we can glean a bit more advantage out of going into a few rooms, getting a lot of scouting, and maybe getting a better idea of the lay of the land. Maybe it would be a bit more obvious as to where the Fanatic might be hiding. And yeah, just losing that advantage, or yeah, losing 25% of our camping buffs for a fairly meaningless encounter is a bit of a sore spot right now. That said, we 2 rooms in, admittedly, we're looking pretty good. But yeah, right here, that looks troubling. Yeah, I didn't even. Yeah, like I said, I'm recording this hands-free right now. But yeah, even when I was originally recording it, that series of 3 encounters, like right in a row,
Well struck.
yeah, that has me thinking that's got to be the Fanatic. That looks really unusual, right? Usually you don't get 2 encounters in quick succession like that. So now the question becomes, how do you approach this? Fortunately, as long as the room there at the end with the 3rd encounter in that sequence, as long as that isn't our Fanatic fight, we're fine. Because at the very least, we're going to attack it with buffs, right? We'll have our buffs up. But yeah, this is definitely a troubling development, because the way that all the rooms are laid out, and the fact that we have a explore 90% of rooms objective laid before us, it just feels like
a trifling victory.
We're probably going to have to fight it one way or another. And if we're going to have to fight it, I would prefer to fight it right now when we're looking, pretty healthy, pretty solid. Yeah, I'm trying to decide here, because obviously running out of the bleed in a long dungeon would be catastrophic. But yeah, by the same token, it's just, I don't want to give up any of our resources right now, because first off, I don't know if the Fanatic does bleed, if it does blight, if it has debuffs, and furthermore, I really would like to actually succeed at this dungeon, because yeah, the Vestal going from like level 3 to level 6, I think, is fairly reasonable, as long as you have the plus experience buff that we have for completing one of the previous objectives, like the, what is it, light in the tunnels or something like that, silence in the crypt, silence in the ruins, I don't know, plus the Ancestor's trinket for like plus experience. It seemed like a slam dunk. I really felt like a genius doing this, and obviously that did not turn out well. Also, this encounter has gone horribly as far as like our fight before what I believe to be the the Fanatic. Yeah, getting critted right there, eating a whole bunch of stress and HP damage. This feels like the lead up to a wipe, and well, you'll see if you guessed 4 dead heroes. We'll find out soon enough, won't we? This was a learning experience for me. Like I said, I had never actually fought I'd never fought the Fanatic. I never did any research, and know thy enemy, though very good advice, unfortunately was not the case here. It's not the reality of our situation. I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity to, like, hopefully recover some health, get some stress back, and, you know, if there was ever a time to do it, it would be with, like, 1 enemy left. And, of course, I didn't want to eat more stress because the game called me out for biding my time. But, yeah, right now, with the health situation the way it is, even if we ate all of our food, we'd still be going in a pretty rotten condition, all things considered. So, yeah, I didn't want to eat another wave of stress, even though I thought it probably was worthwhile. So, yeah, at this point, I'm expecting the worst. I really do think that, yeah, we're about to fight the Fanatic. And hey, so that goes right for the first time. Yeah, this was first off my the beginning of a series of mistakes. So first and foremost, you remember a very important camping buff that we applied to our Hellion just moments ago. Yeah, if she's in the front row, she gets like an additional 10 accuracy and an additional 20 damage. Probably should have made a point of getting her back into the front row, but instead, what I decide to do is not that, and just leave her in the 3rd rank, where she's using a fairly inconsequential if it bleeds attack. Now, admittedly, she does apply the bleed, and with the Fanatic taking 3 turns around, there's some advantages to be gleaned there, but yeah, in retrospect, I could have handled this so much better. Now that 90% stun resist is looking a little bit tantalizing, but I never really try and stun using the Vestal, primarily because, and this is bad, primarily because with the fact that she's level 3, honestly, 90% might still be a bridge too far. And I'm so glad that I brought Laudanum into this fight. Usually when I'm doing my packing for a dungeon run, that's like the first thing to go. So here I'm kind of having some trouble deciding what to do. Gerard and Spike, like our Houndmaster, very ineffective in the front row. Like, hugely ineffective. And the fact that we didn't wipe that 40% protection off, and the fact that I still haven't gotten wise to the fact that, oh, right, my Hellion really needs to be in the front rank to actually, like, do anything of consequence. Yeah, this is bad. And I was like, Corvusers at Death's Door? No, everybo's HP is fine. Nope. No, everybody's HP is not fine. Like, I completely forgot that we had one of our party members burning at the stake, which is, this is gonna make for a fairly awkward quest post-mort, I would imagine. But, yeah, here I genuinely don't know what to do. Like, 40% protection is bad. Being able to whittle some of that off was, like, a big advantage, but at this point, I am floundering. Like, we've done a fair bit of damage so far, but honestly nothing to write home about. We still have about 75% of the battle to go, and like, I just don't know what to do. I don't know how to approach this fight at all, and fucking, are you serious? 50% protection plus like his baseline of 15? Oh my god. I don't really know, like, even looking back, what the mark does as far as, like, yeah, as far as its meaning in, like, in terms of the, yeah, in terms of, like, the actual fight. I don't know what the Fanatic does to a marked individual. And I think I remember reading that, yeah, if you attack the pyre, he buffs himself up. And I did not remember that when we actually, like, were in the fight, which would have been a good time to remember that. This battle by itself completely changed my mind about Vestals. Like, straight up, I genuinely thought Vestals were, and this is timely, like, that was very nearly a disaster. Yeah, if we had gotten a failure on our test of resolve, we would have been fucked. But yeah, this single-handedly changed my mind about the value of Vestals. Like, I really thought that they were a second-tier hero in terms of, like, their ability to... I mean, obviously their ability to heal is good, but their ability to, like, slot into a party and be considered, like, a valuable contributor compared to something like, I don't know, an occultist, which is probably one of the best characters in the game. Like, I still think number 2 best character in the game. Just, this completely changed my perception of the value of a Vestal. I don't know if I would say essential, but borderline essential for any sort of boss run at all. I will never, ever undervalue them again. Miraculously, our Hellion found her way back into the first rank. No thanks to me. I genuinely fucked up on that front, but I think the best thing that could have possibly happened here is that, yeah, at some point, I forgot just how nasty this was. At some point, the Fanatic just seems to, like, split his, yeah, his attention, I was gonna say. So, if you had one death, you are now the favorite. 0 deaths, I want to thank you very much for your confidence in me, as unwarranted as it certainly was. Yeah, we're up to 1. How much worse can it possibly get? Well, in terms of my play, there is no floor. There is no skill floor to be found. I really, really fucked this fight up. A little bit of preparation, a little bit of, like, reconnaissance at all would have definitely prepared me better for this fight. Instead, if you guessed 2, I'll bet you were feeling pretty good about yourself right then, huh? Well, just wait. Yeah, like, people are going onto the stake and immediately coming off on Death's Door. Yeah. So here is the number 1 reason that the Vestal is an amazing character. Pulling 2 people off Death's Door at once. Huge. Huge. Now, 3 attacks per round is something that even, like, the Vestal's amazing healing ability cannot mitigate. But, yeah, it definitely saved us at kind of a crucial moment. Also, the fact that she exhibited a virtue rather than completely cracking meant that we could save a laudanum for kind of a crucial moment here. So, a crucial such as this. So right now I am thinking, we're home free. We got this. Yeah. Let me tell you something. As wonderful as I think Crusaders are, they're basically sort of the Ryu of Darkest Dungeon. They've got everything. They don't excel in any one particular category, but they've got everything. Yeah. Death's Door and Masochistic. But yeah, not being able to easily hit the 3rd rank is bad. I was genuinely shocked here. I thought there was a very good chance that we just straight up die. Nope. We actually did it. I really thought that that we were gonna have a death there, but fortunately, if an attack does 0 damage, and I mean this makes sense, but if it does 0 damage, apparently it doesn't even register as a potential, it's like a potential killer or potential death blow. So yeah, if you guessed 1 death, congratulations. Again, you probably grossly overestimated my competency here, but we got we got a couple nice things. That potion, like the blue potion, is the cure, and actually like wipes Crimson Curse. So we're holding on to that. So that was a horrifying battle, and yeah, obviously we weren't gonna finish the run, but oof, we survived. They can't take that away from us. So I just want to thank everybody very much for watching. I know this video was a long time in coming. I'm hoping to have one more out this week, but let's have a moment of silence for the dear departed Gerard and his faithful companion and our team mascot Spike. We'll miss you guys. But we took them to a Houndmaster farm. They can run around and investigate crime all they want. They're in a better place. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.